Hello, welcome to Before the Vow. When two people come together and fall in love, they begin a relationship. That relationship leads them to marriage when both of them are ready to make it work. If I want the relationship to work, I will try and build the trust for you to trust me. And if you want the relationship to work, you will make sure that I trust you and the love and the bond stays. If one party breaks that trust, that is where the problem begins. But I can confidently tell you that forgiveness is very important. Forgiveness takes away the barrier that will come in between the two of you when one is hurt. It gives the relationship the chance to grow. It gives the relationship a second chance. But I want you to bear in mind that there are certain things that forgiveness can never do. So that at least when you are hurting the other, you try to think before you act. If you don't do that, you can act anyhow and always step on the other party's toes, thinking that you can come back and ask for forgiveness and he or she will forgive. So many times we try to take advantage of each other when it comes to forgiveness. Oh, because I can easily come and ask for forgiveness and they'll forgive me. And when you're doing anything and the person is even going to be hurt, you don't even care. You come back and ask for forgiveness, and because the other party loves you dearly and doesn't want the relationship to break, they will forgive, and you keep on, it will go on and on and on and on and on. I want you to bear in mind that there are certain things that forgiveness does not do, so that when you are acting, you think before. You should bear in mind that forgiveness does not erase our memory. If you do something to hurt me, I can easily forgive you if I want the relationship to work, because I'm giving you a second chance in our relationship. But you should know that whatever that you did to me can never be cleared from my mind. God in his own wisdom made the human brain in such a way that everything will be stored until you are dead. Every experience that you have in life, whether good or bad, is stored in your brain. That is where the psychologists will say that the mind is made up of the conscious and the subconscious. The subconscious mind stores everything in it like it's asleep. But the conscious mind is whereby you are aware of anything that you are doing. Now, as at now, I am aware that I'm talking to you. But I'm not thinking about what I ate yesterday. If you're to ask me that what did I eat last night, I would go back into my subconscious mind and retrieve that information and tell you what I ate. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you verbally abuse the person consistently, it goes straight into your subconscious mind, even if they are not even thinking about it. When you come and ask for forgiveness, they can easily forgive you, but that doesn't mean that it has been erased from the mind. It will keep on coming back whenever you do something to trigger it. You will say that so far as you have not forgotten, you have not forgiven me. No, the mind is not made that way that we can easily delete anything from our mind. Even as at now, some people can still remember the horrible experience that they had with their stepmothers when they were young. As at now, people still remember how men or women molested them at a very young age. Anything can just bring it out. Sometimes our experiences are buried too deep into our mind that even when you try to recollect, it will be hard for you to. That doesn't mean that it's deleted. So people can even, some other theories will say that when you are asleep, there are so many things that happened when you were a child. It can even come back into your dream. That is where the subconscious mind is working. So if you think that you can easily hurt me and ask for forgiveness, and I will do that. You should bear in mind that I can never erase it from my mind. If I'm forgiving you, that means I'm giving the relationship another chance. The only thing that I can do is to make sure that I don't talk about it at all. No matter how hard it hurts me, I need to keep it because I have forgiven you. But when there is a misunderstanding between the two of us, something can easily make me remember that thing that you did to me and I forgave you for. When it comes back into my mind, what I can do is to bury it again. The moment I open my mouth and talk about it, it brings back the hurt. It can even, because we are already having misunderstanding, it can even make you try to justify. But meanwhile, the first time that you came to ask for forgiveness, there was nothing like justification. But now, because we are arguing, you will try to justify or even say something to hurt me the most. So then, what did I gain by bringing it out from my mouth? I can only keep it in my mind and try and not talk about it. Another thing that forgiveness cannot do is to remove the consequences of wrongdoing. When someone does something bad to you and the other one forgives, you should know that whatever that resulted from what you did is still there. Because of your anger and your emotions that you could not control, you said that your girlfriend cheated on you, and for that matter, you killed her. So if you are to apologize to the family, how does that bring back their loved one to life? She's dead and gone. If you try to break somebody's jaw just because you are so angry and you couldn't control your temper, and now you ask for forgiveness, how does it, heal my jaw that you have broken? If you try to beat me up because we are having an argument and I hurt my eye, you ask for forgiveness, what happens to my eye? So before you act in a way that you cannot control, think about the consequences of what you're about to do. You can't just hurt my eye, break my jaw, or even end my life just because of your unnecessary emotions. And you come back and ask for forgiveness, and you expect that you could easily be forgiven. What about the consequences of your behavior? We are all responsible for our own actions. So whatever that happened, you are responsible for. The fact still remains that you are responsible for it. When my jaw can never be healed, anytime you look at me, you will know that you caused it. If my eye cannot be healed, and all the time you keep on seeing me with that eye that you hurt, you will still know that you caused it. Or do you think that you can easily forget about it? If you have killed someone's loved one because of your emotions and they have forgiven you after, the fact still remains that the person is dead and gone. That thing that caused the person to die, which you did it, is still there. Everybody knows that you have killed somebody. No matter what happens, whether you face justice or you will be forgiven, that life cannot come back. So anytime you were acting in a way, think that forgiveness will still be there, but the consequences of your actions can never be removed. Let's assume that your mother has saved enough to go and pay her debts, and because of you wanting the money, you go and steal it for maybe drugs or whatsoever, and the person that your mother is owing comes to take her away and put her into cell. You later on come back and ask for forgiveness and say that you caused it. She's a mother and she can easily forgive you. But what about the embarrassment that you have put her through? What about the pain and agony that she has gone through, all because of the money that you stole from her? She has forgiven you, but still, whatever that caused her to go to jail, it was caused by you. If you abandon your wife and children, 20 years later, you come and ask for forgiveness and they do forgive. That period, that 20 years that was lost, how do you bring that back? How do you create that memory? Because it has been lost. There is nothing like us going back to those days. That is why we always say that you have to cherish every moment that you have with somebody. If it was to be left for me alone, we would live at peace with everybody, because tomorrow it will be very hard for you to bring back memories, because there was none. If you abandon your children, they grow up, you say that now you need their help. Okay, they can easily forgive you, but they will never have a relationship with you, because there has been none. There's no memory. How can they come and sit with you every day and chat? And what are the good memories that they can bring? Because there has been a gap. If you are doing something, trying to think that, oh, let me abandon them, one day they will come looking for me. One day the fact still remains that they are my children. It can never be erased that they are my children. Yes, they are your children because they have your blood. But the time lost between the two of you can never be brought back. So try and have a relationship with them, instead of allowing that gap, thinking that one day they will come back. The relationship that they will have with you will be different from the relationship that they will have with their mother, because as they keep on growing up, they see their mother with them. Both the good and the bad experiences they will have with their mother. They will sit down one day, talk about it, laugh, joke, because they have shared a lot of experiences and they have a lot of memories with their mom. But nothing can be said about you. Have you seen some people, whenever they are talking, they always bring up my mom, and someone will ask them that, what about your dad? You always talk about your mom. Yeah, but I didn't have any experience with my dad. There is nothing like any memory between me and my dad. So I cannot bring any conversation that involves my dad, because what did I have with my dad? But I still will never forget that he's my dad. I have forgiven him for abandoning me, but the time lost between the two of us has brought up a big gap. So when you're trying to abandon your family, think that nobody knows tomorrow. Think about the consequences that your actions are going to bring. Don't just act anyhow. You know that this thing that you are doing is not going to end well, but you think that you can easily ask for forgiveness and you'll be forgiven, so you don't care. You can ask for forgiveness. That is why I'm telling you that there are certain things forgiveness can never do. So when you're trying to do something, think very well that how is it going to end up? What is it going to cause? What is it going to create? Because if you don't take care, they will forgive you, but there will never be a bond anymore. Another thing that forgiveness can never do is to rebuild trust. We have built trust over time. Both of us have been in a relationship for 5 years, and we have built that trust that even when I'm sleeping, I know that I can trust you. Just a day, you betrayed that trust by cheating. You have asked for forgiveness and I have forgiven you. But do you expect me to trust you automatically because I have forgiven you? If you are thinking of betraying your partner's trust, thinking that when you come back and ask for forgiveness, they are going to treat you the same way they used to treat you before, then you are mistaking him. So before you make that move to betray that trust, ask yourself that if they had done that to you, how would you have felt? Some men will just, take a step ahead, go and ask another girl out, whereby they know that they are married, they are aware of what they are doing, they want to be in a relationship with you, they'll say that, but I'm married. Then later on you get to find out the kind of conversation that you'll be having with the girl and all that, and you come back and tell me that I should forgive you. I do forgive you, and how do you expect me to trust you? Because maybe that time you are even having horrible, bad conversations about me to the girl, and you expect me to trust you just overnight because I have forgiven you. It doesn't work that way. So what I will say is, the forgiveness has at least created a room for improvement. It has given you another chance to prove yourself right. It's also going to take another phase, another period for me to build that trust again. So sometimes some counselors will even say that if you want your wife or your girlfriend to trust you again, you have to make everything open for them to know. Your conversations on your phone, because now they can't trust you. When your phone is there, they even feel like picking it up because they know that you are saying something that they don't even know about. If you try to make everything open because you have caused it, maybe before then they were not even searching your phone, but because of what you have done, it has broken the trust. Now you have to go all out, do things to prove yourself that you are ready to make the relationship work. I have done my part by forgiving you, but you also have to do your part by building the trust again. Don't think that the forgiveness has automatically built the trust, because you have to prove yourself right. You have to prove yourself that I am ready to make this work. But don't take advantage of the fact that they have forgiven you and they should treat you like they used to treat you, or you can act anyhow and you can go back to your old ways and expect me to forgive you and trust you again, and you keep on going back. And as somebody went to tell his girlfriend that, oh, I have divorced my wife, I'm not even married, I have divorced, tell this one I have divorced my wife, tell the other girl that I am not married, and flirt with them, and finally dump them. They come back to the wife and say that your husband has treated me in a way that he has lied to me, he did this, he said that he's not married to you, he said that he's not even married at all, he even said that he has broken up with you. And I hear this and I get hurt. You come back and ask for forgiveness. How do you expect me to trust you? How do you expect me to act like I used to before? And it comes back to our first point, that how can I take this out of my memory? I have forgiven you, all right, but you need to work hard for me to trust you again. Make me feel like you cannot do that again, or you will never do that to me again. Another thing that forgiveness can never do is to result in reconciliation. It is not all forgiveness that brings about reconciliation. Reconciliation is to bring back to harmony, knowing your differences and working as a team to build something up again, something that has been broken. So the farther away that you have been, the harder it becomes for reconciliation. If you verbally or physically abuse a woman and she separates from you for some time, the earlier you try to ask for forgiveness so that there can be reconciliation, the earlier the better, because the farther away, the difficult the two of you can come back together. So they can forgive you from afar, but that doesn't mean that there can be reconciliation, because most people forgive to release the hurts that they have, because they don't want to go through some kind of stress or unnecessary hurt that prevents them from moving forward. So they will try to forgive you and love you from afar. But that doesn't mean that the forgiveness can automatically result in reconciliation. If you have abandoned me for a long time, you keep on hurting me over and over and over and over again, and one day you come and ask for forgiveness, I forgive you. How do I reconcile with you and live with you like we used to? Some people have hurt a lot of people that as at now, they are still apart, the hurt is still there, and maybe one day they can come back and say that, okay, I want you to forgive me. They can forgive, but doesn't mean that automatically it's going to reconcile the two of you for you to live like you used to live before. The example that I brought about abandoning your family, they can forgive you, but that doesn't mean automatically there will be reconciliation. So you cannot bring back the time that is lost, and you cannot automatically be reconciled with them because they have forgiven you. My forgiveness does not mean that I can say that you didn't do it to me. You still did it. So why do you try to do something to hurt your partner, thinking that they can easily forgive you, and it will look as if nothing happened at all? No. Maybe they're not going to talk about it, but that doesn't mean that nothing happened. It did happen. And it is another experience that will be stored in their subconscious mind. It's another experience that one day they'll be sharing with people, and they will use it to advise. If I did not go through that, how would I get that kind of wisdom to advise people to make sure that they don't go through the same? We have gone through a lot of experiences that now we are trying to groom those who are coming up, that this is and that is what happened to me. I am teaching you this way so that you don't go through the same path that I went through. If I am teaching somebody, that doesn't mean that the person that did that to me, I have not forgiven him. I have, but there is nothing like reconciliation. There is nothing like whatever that he did to me, I have to forget. No, it's there. That is why I'm using it to teach other people. So when you are trying to do something, just think about the consequences of your action. Don't take advantage of people so easily. Don't take advantage of people's leniency. They are lenient to you because they love you. They are lenient to you because they want the relationship to work. Anytime that you come back, they will ask. You ask for forgiveness, they will forgive you. It will keep on going on and on and on, thinking that you are making him or her a fool. But you are creating an experience that one day it becomes very difficult for the two of you to even try to live together again. But people break up from relationships, but they are still talking. That doesn't mean that the bad experience that they had with each other, it's gone from their mind. They still remember. Some people stole money from their partner, but as at now, they are still talking. The fact still remains that you stole money from them that caused your breakup. It can never be erased, because every time you even talk, you still remember. You also remember that you did that to her. How can she forget about what you did to her? You still remember that you stole her money, but you expect her to forget that you stole her money. How does it work? It doesn't work that way. So that's why we are rational human beings. That's why it makes us human. We are not superhumans. We are not supernatural beings. We are human beings. It is something that should happen. It will happen. It will be stored there. I cannot make myself a robot. I cannot make myself, an angel or a superhuman that I should easily. So my forgiving you is not a feeling. It's a decision that I'll make. It's going to help me. It's going to help the relationship. That is why I have decided to forgive. If I say that I'm waiting for me to feel like forgiving you, then I'm never going to forgive you, because the hurt is still there, the pain will still be there, but I am deciding to forgive you so that I can let go of the hurt. So today I came your way for you to understand that there are things that forgiveness can never do. So if you are trying to hurt another person, think about it. Think about the consequences. Think about the end result and see if whatever action that you are taking, is it going to help the relationship or not? Until I come your way again next time, thank you for watching and bye-bye.